So, I almost dropped my drink again.
Not again.
All right. Yeah. So the first question, all right? What do your kids and husbands think of co-parenting? What are the relationships like? So, kids are not a part of this. So, Travis, what do you think of the co-parenting?
Well, I guess with a husband, so. I think that there's nothing but benefits from good co-parenting. When Megan and I first started seeing each other, there was a little bit of a awkward situation between Mike and I guess you could say. We didn't really know each other at the time, so it's going to be weird. Me dating his ex-wife. But once we got to know each other, we kind of became friends, and things just got easier. The better we worked at getting to know each other, the better we were at being able to be, good parents towards Michael, and we could be on the same page as far as what we thought was best for him, and co-parenting him. I didn't want to go in and do things as far as like a father figure that Mike wouldn't necessarily like. So we communicated the best we could to make the situation a good one for everyone, I guess you could say. I don't know.
It's funny. I actually used to say, as I became a newly single father, or single father, right? One of my stipulations when I was looking at dating was that I thought to myself, I could never date a girl that had a kid, knowing that what a pain in the butt it would be for me to be in that situation, or have somebody else. Like I always assumed that I would be this overbearing person, that any other male that would come in the picture, I would be overbearing with them, and so it was a hard concept to grasp for me, to have to be the stepfather, or be that extra male figure in that child's life. However, I got to that point where when Megan first got with Travis, of course initially it's always, it's just maybe it's a male thing, you just initially feel challenged, but like it didn't take very long at all. As soon as I got to know Travis, I was like, man, like this guy cares about Megan a lot, cares about his son, and he's taking care of them. And despite being divorced and not being in a relationship, whenever you're with somebody and you grow, you get married and you have a kid, there's always a large part of you that will always care for that person, right? And you want the best for them and your child and all this stuff. And I've always, from the very beginning, I thought Travis was a good guy, and thought that I was like, wow, they're in good hands. So it's always been awkward. It's always been, especially I think more for him because
always.
Yeah, because it's.
I thought we got past that.
No, I said always, as in the past. Yeah. So but it was awkward because it's like, okay, this is the person that my wife was with, now she's with me and all this other stuff. And now I also have, I have to take care of this kid, but I've got somebody else having their input on how this kid's taken care of. And so it's always a weird or maybe awkward situation. But since Megan and Tiffany become friends and all this, like Travis said, we really got past that. And we'd be, not only have we gotten along, but we found common interests. We became friends. And now, we have, I think, a strong just friendship,
good friendship. Not just co-parenting. We've actually developed a good friendship. We went and bought.
Hang out. Yeah.
We hang out, regardless of whether the wives are hanging out or the kids are.
Yeah.
We went and bought kayaks together, and we go kayaking together
on a whim.
Yeah. So, and that's a nice thing to involve the boys in, as well as a nice thing for us to do together. To develop our relationship even farther and better.
We're on the same page, and not only do we have a relationship for Michael, but also for Bryce, like
For
your
Bryce,
son,
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Like he stays the night at our house, and he's like, I can't tell you the joy I feel when I come home and he's at my house first. Like when we take him off their hands, him and Megan, where they can have a date night, and I get home, he's like, Mike, you know,
Yeah.
and
Just yesterday,
it feels good. It feels really good. Like
Yep.
it's like my little, like, until we have a child of our own, Tiffany and I, it's my next little thing there. It's kind of a cool thing. So, yeah. All right. So, anything to add? I'll go to question number 2.
No.
Okay.
Let's review that question. Let me see. Let me make sure that I answered it as thoroughly as possible. What do we think of co-parenting? What are our relationships like? Yep. I think we answered it.
Yeah.
Yep. I think co-parenting is can be difficult, but you can make the best out of it. And
Yeah. In the very beginning, we all did actually get together. We all went to
Buffalo
lunch.
Wild Wings.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember that.
Something like that.
And I was like,
It
this is a little bit weird. It was so soon. And
It was so fucking awkward.
it was very awkward. It was like Michael's birthday or something.
Yeah.
And it was awkward, but... And back then, looking at it, when she asked me if I wanted to do that, I was like, I'll do it for Michael, for the co-parenting.
Right.
But then I was like, that's kind of weird. And now it's just like, it's second nature.
I talked about like I'm like, hey, yeah, we should be able to do birthday parties and get together for the kid and all this other stuff. And it's just like everybody's got to be on the same page. Everybody's got to be on board. Everybody's got to have all that stuff. And I've always, to the best of my ability, I have always been trying to be very empathetic to Travis' situation, because I do not share his situation. Like, it is completely different. It takes an incredible person to be able to walk into a relationship with a person that has this attachment to someone else, and this attachment is not like this shallow thing. This attachment is a child, an emotional attachment, a physical attachment, all of these other things, and you're forced to when you get with somebody, to say, by the way, you're not just getting with me, I also have a child, but by the way, that child's father's involved, and you have to get in a relationship with them too. It is so incredibly like complicated. It takes, and you have to be such an emotionally strong person. I'll be honest, like I always said, I couldn't do it. It takes a very special person to do it. Travis was able to do it, and it's I don't know, it's a big deal. It's an incredible thing to be able to do something like that, because it's a lot, right? Like, it's a lot to become attached to a person, but become attached to the things that they are also attached to by circumstance, whether it's an ex and a child or anything like that. So we did try in the beginning, and it was incredibly awkward when we had to do to dinner together for Michael's birthday.
It was.
I tried. I do the best that I can sometimes, but I either come across sometimes as I talk too much, or I'm just completely standoffish. So I'm sure, I don't know what I was like, but man, and you were super quiet.
You like to talk, and I'm more reserved.
Yes, yeah,
I'm definitely more reserved. Yeah. So I was kind of standing back and just kind of letting the situation play itself out, and not creating any conversation, I guess you could say, because I was so awkward, and I didn't honestly, I didn't know what to say. But now we've come a long way. So
well, because we made steps since then. Like so our first get together was definitely awkward. It was more forced, I guess you'd say. And just to kind of give a backstory of like how we got to this point. Actually, we just had a situation where, like, we had they were going to do something and with Michael 4th of July, and we had a thing at our house, and they went and did that, but we invited them over. They came over. We all hung out, and it just turned out good. It was a good situation, and we said, well, hell, like this was good. So let's
hold on. Did you say we just hung out, or did you?
4th of July,
was that 4th of July that we ended up staying till the sun came up?
No. That was the first time. No. That was the first time. Like 4th of July was like the initial. It was like we dipped our toes in the water, right, where we all got together. And,
okay, that's right. Yeah, we did a little game night after 4th of July.
And it was
fireworks and all
it was
that.
good.
Yeah.
Like, we all hung out. We had more importantly, like we had a good time. Like everybody enjoyed themselves. It was not awkward.
It wasn't fake. It wasn't awkward. It was
you
just
and
a
I
good
actually
time.
sat down and had a good conversation between ourselves, like about like just like we're very real. Like we were very drunk, but we were very really with each other, and we were able to like get our concerns and we have since then, by the way, like even on parenting of the kids, even though now we're friends, we're able to sit down and like, even if we have disagreements or whatever the case is, like I trust Travis with my child's life, like that, and that's a big deal, right? Because I rely on him to help me raise him, and that's a big deal, especially for somebody like me, and my personality and the way I grew up. It's just a big deal. I'm a control freak, and to let the raising of my child go is, or to be shared is, it's a big deal, right? So that was the catalyst, and then from there, we decided, okay, let's do it again. Let's get together for another game night. We did that.
That was the game night.
That's where we got drunk and ended up at 7 o'clock in the morning as the sun's rising, sitting in my garage, boxing, drinking the scotch.
Yes.
That was
we watched the sunrise from your garage.
Yeah, as we're hitting a heavy bag with gloves on and trying to hold a glass of scotch. So that was fun. But I guess the key thing to take away from it is that it absolutely did not happen overnight. I mean, I'm talking. I've been with Tiffany for like 7 years now. Travis and Megan have been together now for 5 years, something like that, right? Like, and it's not until within the last few years
almost 6,
were we able to get to this point. And for anybody following our story or watching or anything like that, I would say the key thing to take away is just keep at it. Like you be open. Like there's no room for macho man stuff in here, or to be like, oh, I'm tougher than the guy that's with my ex-wife and all that. You have to be humble. There's a humble part of this, and there's a part of this where you have to be just open. And I think with good hard work, humbleness, openness, and all this stuff, you not only will you find probably a partner and help raising your kid, but like you find a friend. And I think that the big thing too is as we get older, as we become adults, we move. Friends become more far and few between. We move away and all that stuff. I know personally, like I don't have a lot of close friends because you just move, like, right? And it's hard to develop those as you get older, as you work a lot and stuff like that. So not only did I personally find someone to help, like that's with my ex-wife that I get along with, but beyond that, I found like a good friend, and that we hang out and we go do stuff together beyond just the kids and wives and stuff. So that's, I don't know, that's my soapbox as far as, where we're at now. Anything else?
What was the question?
We answered it.
Okay. Now I just like to say, for any people who are struggling, we should have paused.
I think the big struggle is the
uncomfortable,
manliness,
crazy
right?
stories. Ooh, I do have some
crazy stories. Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
Shit.
I feel like we kind of touched on that a little bit.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about crazy stories.
I don't think we have any crazy stories. Like nothing. Like, I mean, personally, each. Sure. Yeah.
Can I just talk about the first time that when Mike and I bought kayaks together?
We were drinking.
He would prefer I don't tell this story. But so Mike and I bought kayaks on a whim.
It was a Friday night, and we were drinking. Let's preface.
We had been drinking
with that. Okay.
So he lives on a little pond, and we decided at 3 o'clock in the morning it was a good idea to take the kayaks out.
Well, hang on, back up. We bought them at like 9 o'clock at night. At the very end of the day.
Literally, they were forcing us out of the store because they were closing.
We bought mine, and then we drove down to Sarasota to buy yours.
Another hour,
right?
An hour drive, yeah.
And then when we got back to my house, like,
well, I said it was 3 o'clock in the morning.
Everything in us told us that we had to try them out, obviously, because we're not going to buy kayaks and just not see if they float.
If you live on a pond or any sort of body of water, and you have a kayak, you're going to try it out.
It's a large pond. It's a pretty large pond.
It's like a lake.
It's a retention lake. Not a retention pond, a retention
lake.
More like a lake. Yeah.
So we had to take the kayaks out. Like, we had to. Didn't matter if it was 3 o'clock in the morning. We had to take them out.
it was like 1, because I remember Michael got out at 1 o'clock, and then you and I were still out at 3 o'clock. But like, we started.
All right, we started at 1 o'clock.
We started pissing the neighbors off at about 1 o'clock in the morning.
And then the night may have ended around 3 o'clock. So we took the kayaks out. We drug him through his backyard, and we put him in the lake.
Disgusting ass lake.
Such a disgusting lake. It's
a retention pond. It's just huge. It's like a toilet, but it's just a really big ass toilet, right? So
it smelled so bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It smelled really
it wasn't that bad.
Really bad. I would say it was like on the lighter end of a Bryce diaper.
Okay. Yeah, which is not that bad.
That's pretty bad. A diaper, a baby diaper.
I've got diapers.
Lighter end, I guess,
bathroom,
if that's any consolation.
Okay. A pee diaper, maybe.
No,
not a poo diaper.
A light poo.
Stop it.
So
right, anyway,
we took the kayaks out, and we were just having the time of our lives. We weren't fishing or anything. We were just paddling around, brand new kayaks, and Mike was like, I guess, testing the balance of his kayak, just doing one of these. Oh, look how far I can do this. And so, eventually, whoop, right on over.
I also bought two small kayaks, by the way, which I learned my lesson on when I bought a big one. Actually, too.
Yeah, so he flipped over, and he's yelling, "Travis, help!" And I'm just laughing. I was laughing so hard, I couldn't help him because I was laughing too hard.
Yep.
And
yep.
I didn't want to spill my drink.
Well, that's important. Yeah.
So he flipped his kayak back over, climbed up on it, realized that he lost his chair. His chair. And then the next morning, he went back with a snorkel.
I planned on diving in at that point. As soon as we got there, I was like, "There's no way in hell I'm getting this goddamn water."
So we
find another way. But
no, we spent the night. So Megan and I slept on the couch, and I woke up to him in a bathing suit with a snorkel, and he's like, "You ready? Let's go." So we went out in the morning. We didn't find it, but
no. Not
hilarious.
that we not find it, but I had a neighbor came out that like was like, "Oh, you're apparently
you can't have watercrafts." He said we were on a kayak. He said you can't have watercrafts.
It's a no to have kayaks on the retention pond in my neighborhood with the HOA, and we said we're not on a watercraft, we're on a kayak, and we're on a search and rescue mission. So
so we got kicked off.
So we got out of there.
We got kicked off by HOA.
I only tipped over twice in that kayak, right?
Oh, do you want to talk about next
time?
time?
And the second time we went out in somewhat choppy conditions, same size, but again,
that was really choppy.
It was a 10-foot versus a 12-foot. I have a 12-foot now. I did an upgrade since then, but this guy decides, like, as we're paddling out to go fishing from the beach, he's way out and having the time of his life. I'm out there in a shorter, smaller kayak with the waves just kicking my ass, and I
with
get
the beach chair on it.
Yeah, with the beach chair on that I tied into it, and I get tipped over again. I'm waving, going, "Travis." He goes, "Nope."
I said, "No, man,
good.
You got it. I'm fishing."
He's out there getting bites and stuff from fishing. So at that point, I was like, "Yeah, I need to go. Get a bigger, better."
So then you got a bigger, better kayak,
which is now it's better than his. So yeah, I mean, yeah. No,
it's a little bit more stable, but
it's certainly got more storage space.
More storage, but if you had to go to an island, whose kayak would you want to ride on?
I don't know how far is it out.
Let's say half a mile.
Well, I also have the cooler on me all the time too.
Okay, half a mile. That's not very far.
That's super far.
Half a mile is nothing.
Anyway, he's got an aerodynamic one, which. But the cool thing is that as we go out together, like we have plans. Like I'm the storage. Like I'm like the big fat guy that carries everything, and he's like this skinny fit guy that like as we put a trolling motor on, that's gonna tow us. So hopefully that answered your guys' questions. obviously, hopefully, you can see that it's one of those things that we're certain. Again, the biggest thing to take away is that this is not something that we had from the very beginning at all. It took time. It took a lot of time, but we were able to develop this with maturity, perseverance, and more importantly, like care for Michael. That's really the common denominator in all of this is taking care of him, making sure he's happy. I think Travis is if I could ask for, I could ask for nothing more from another father figure to watch over my son than what Travis does, because I think he's amazing. And we luckily have gotten to the point where, again, we've developed actually a pretty cool, decent friendship. I mean, they moved 20 minutes from us, and we're looking for a house even closer now to move to, and it's just it's the best of a situation, and I can't push on the fact of how many people I tell this to, that I either get that this is totally weird, or I get that, man, you sure are lucky, and I can't. I truly feel lucky. Like it is.
I think lucky. Every time somebody says weird, I'm like, yeah, I understand that.
Sure,
but
yeah, it's weird. Yeah,
lucky is really the way to describe it.
Yeah, lucky. Like it's a cool thing. So, yeah. Hopefully, that answers your guys' questions. So, thank you for your time, and thanks for giving us the chance.